Hi, everybody. Welcome to vlog day number 3. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of recording the vlog after my day is like basically over and I'm winding down. I don't even know why I'm winding down. I am going to share with you my morning practice. And I wanted to document it because today is so basically sadhana. I just completed my Kundalini Yoga training. Shout out to Aura Kundalini, Leah Garber. She's an amazing teacher. Love, love, love her. If you want to learn Kundalini, take her training. It's happening in September and it's 4 months. Such an amazing transformative experience, and I highly recommend it to anyone, even if you don't want to be a teacher. It's just an amazing experience for your soul, for really getting to know yourself. And I feel like it honestly really just spiritually, chiropractically aligns you to your truth, to your core. And I can definitely see how it has helped me become more of who I am, right? Have that confidence, be magnetic, be radiant. And if you love learning about energy, if you love learning about even just beyond somatics and like how you are, I find that all of the education that I learned, it just goes beyond, Kundalini and that lineage, but she combines Kabbalah, she combines working with the elements from the school in Guatemala that she went to when she was younger. But it was just, it's a very, very holistic program. And I felt like I was in a mystery school. So it was just, I 100% recommend it. And I'll put it in the description, how to sign up for her next training. But in Kundalini, or just not even in Kundalini, but sadhana is known as a daily spiritual practice. And it's important to do your sadhana to make it your focal point. This isn't something that's religious, right? Usually in Kundalini, we say the mantra, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, which means I bow to my own inner guide. I bow to my own inner truth. And it's not, praying to some sort of deity, but Kundalini is working with Shakti energy, which is a divine feminine energy. It's a creative energy. It's that life force. It's the sexual energy. It's, like the example that's coming up for me right now is like the breath in someone, which is also known as pranayama in yoga. What makes you alive is your breath. When you come into this world, you take your first breath into this world. And when you leave, your breath is what goes with you. And your spirit moves on into whatever next evolution, it's meant to. But it leaves that body, it leaves your vessel that you came into this world. And so I notice I talk really slow when I'm in the morning, when I'm in like, I don't know, I guess teacher mode right now, just because I'm explaining things to you. I'm educating things, or I'm educating you about Kundalini, my practice, all that stuff. But typically sadhana is practiced during the Amrit Vela, which is the time before the sun rises. And the reason why is because the sun's at a certain angle with the earth, and it's said to heighten your manifestations and your calling even more so. And it's not just in Kundalini, it's also, in other religions as well. And but there's, Kundalini Yoga is often practiced sadhana in the morning before the sun rises. And so during my practice, we would start at 5 a.m., which meant that I would wake up at 4 a.m. and take me 30 minutes to drive because, the classes were in Berkeley, and then we would start. But I did that for 4 months. Don't worry, it was every other weekend. But in between, we would have sadhana and we would practice online on Zoom. And what we would do is we would listen to this long prayer called Japji. And Japji is chanted in Gurmukh. That is the language that a lot of the mantras are recited in Kundalini. And it is a mantra that really connects you to your soul. It's like you're connected to source, you're connected to the molecule of source, like you're aligning yourself to source. And you break through all of those different blocks you have, and you rewire your subconscious. And this is why, I used to get really annoyed waking up so early. That's actually one of the biggest resistances that I had, and blocks I had of actually taking the training, because I'm not a morning person. I actually thrive at night. And waking up that early, I was like, I know it sounds stupid. I was so scared of it. I didn't want to. And the reason why you do that is because when you dream, that's when your subconscious talks to you. And recently, I've since December, I've worked with a Jungian dream analyst. And that's when your subconscious talks to you. That's the language. The subconscious language is symbolism. It's dreams. And so when you're woken up so early in the morning, you're still in your subconscious state. Like you're not really alert, you're not awake. And so when you fill that time in your mind with mantras of like, especially things that you don't understand, because I don't know about you, but if I'm speaking the mantra in my language, just doesn't, it's like my ego understands a language. It can like hit it differently. It can say like, I don't believe in that. But if it's a language I don't understand, I'm like, okay, I'm just more receptive because I don't understand what I'm listening to. And so there's something about it where, you're listening to these mantras and they really just kind of get into you and they just rewire your brain. And so that's what you're doing. And so as you start to develop your own practice, even though it's so early and you think like, it did show me that I can be a morning person. And the whole purpose of that is you do your sadhana before you do anything else, before you talk to someone, before you look at your phone, before you apply to your work emails that you got late at night from other people or being stressed out. It's like you put you and your soul and your connection to source first. And that is the answer. Like sadhana is the answer. You don't know what to do, go to sadhana. You have trouble at work, do sadhana. Trouble with your partner, do sadhana. Kids are annoying you, sadhana. You don't know where to move, sadhana. And the reason why is because you get quiet. You create this sacred space and time for you to listen to your soul. And the reason why you feel like you can't listen to your soul, or, there's all these like conversations around you, is because you're not quiet enough. It's about connecting to your body. It's about connecting to your intuitive body, your energetic body, and really understanding and getting to the heart of what it is that you want. Because in a really hypermasculine world that is often based on logos, logic, the mental mind, we're often in battle between our head and our heart. And doing sadhana cuts straight through all of that bullshit and aligns you like this. And so the practice that, I've typically done is listening to Japji. It's about 20 minutes. And then listening, and then doing some warm-ups. Typically when we were in training, we would do a full hour class. And then we would do, the first time we did the Aquarian sadhana, which is where you chant a bunch of different mantras for another hour. So it's a 2.5 hour practice. You're done by 7:30. So 5 to 7:30. And then the second time we did it, we listened to Japji. We did a whole hour of Kundalini, and then we did 33 minutes. It's called the Three Queens, the Three Sisters of the three most potent kriyas, which are a set of asanas, set of body postures that you can do. And so the first one we did was Sat Kriya, which transmutes sexual energy into creative energy. Really allows you to clear out the lower chakras, which is your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. And so the root is all about security. It's about the thinking about everything that you want in this world, the financial security. And then the sacral is known as your emotions, right? So it's like kind of like you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You think about, okay, food, water, shelter, and then love, emotions, and, you know, all of that stuff. So that's a sacral. And also creativity. And then your third chakra is your solar plexus, which is also known as your fire, your inner fire. It's located right here in the navel. And so if you notice, if you go to a Kundalini class, you're often pumping your navel, because we work with a lot of fire in Kundalini. And Kundalini is really about working with the energy, slowly waking up your Kundalini energy, your life force, to bring that healing energy all over your body. So it's a difference between shallow breathing. You notice if it's like short breath, like when I did my first yoga training, my tantric yoga training, I realized that I was breathing short. I was doing inverse breathing. And so inverse breathing was when I was breathing in and my stomach would go in. And that's actually not the way. I was like, what? And so when you breathe, when you inhale, your stomach should be extended. And the reason why it's extended is because your diaphragm is like, you know, pushing your belly out. And so when you inhale, your belly should be out. When you exhale, your stomach should slowly go back in. And that is actually the proper way to breathe. And I was breathing wrong for the longest time. And so I couldn't move on to the pranayama practices that I was learning in my initial training, because I had to practice how to breathe correctly. And the most important thing is bringing that breath to every single part of your body, because it allows you to heal. And when you work with the breath and when you're able to learn how to master it and control it, you can help yourself in different situations. People, you know, especially clients, they ask me all the time, like, how can I be calm? Breathe, do belly breathing, do a 4-part breath, right? Even in Kundalini, there's the 1-minute breath. that is way too long for me, but it's like 20 minutes inhaling, holding 20 minutes. You would die. 20 seconds inhaling, holding the breath for 20 seconds, and then 20 seconds exhaling. You can do 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 10, 15, 15, 15. You just work your way up. And what that does is allow you to, like, imagine yourself at work and you're like, oh my God, I have this one-on-one, or I have like this crazy boss. How do I calm myself down? You can do that in a conference room. You can do that when you're on Zoom. And that really allows you to regulate your nervous system. So using prana is really healing to regulate your nervous system. It allows you to stay and remain calm out your anxiety, all of that stuff. And so, yeah, so we did Sat Kriya. It's part of the 3 Queens. And then we did Kirtan Kriya, which really helps with your cognitive abilities. It helps with, you know, they did a study in LA that actually helps with Alzheimer's, people with Alzheimer's. It helps them remember. And then the third one was Sudarshan Chakra Kriya. And I wasn't a fan of pranayama. Like, something happens when you hold the breath on the exhale. Like when I'm inhaling and holding, it's like, oh, I'm getting all this life, I'm getting all this prana, and I feel expansive. But then when you exhale all of that air out of you and you hold it, there's something that happens to someone, especially, like, you know, I experienced that where I was like, I just didn't like it. I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I need air, you know, and it makes you very close to death, that feeling of death, right? And so as you're inhaling and holding, it feels comfortable. Exhaling and holding, it brings up something, it stirs up something in you. And so Sudarshan Chakra Kriya, and again, it helps you become a teacher. It helps you remove all those blocks. It helps you rewire your subconscious programming. It was one of the hardest breathing exercises, pranayama practices that I did. But towards the end of doing it for 40 days, I actually really, really love it. And now it's like a quick 11 minutes that I like to do. And so that's the beauty of Kundalini for me, is the fact that you're doing these really difficult things where you're holding poses for really long, and your brain gets in there and it's wondering, why the F are we doing this? This is so stupid. Da, 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 you know? But it's allowing that fire, it's allowing that anger to come to the surface for it to move through. So notice your mood before you practice, notice your mood during the actual asana practice, the Kundalini practice, and notice how you feel afterwards, right? Because it's like cleaning a wound. You need to get that gunk out. You need to put solutions on it that like sting it a little bit in order for it to get clean, so you can put the band-aid and it can heal properly. And so when we're doing that, like, I don't know, emotional surgery that happens, like, you get comfortable with the anger and it no longer makes you scared of anger, right? And sure, you may sometimes project it onto the teacher. Like that happened a couple of times in my class with other people, and they were very honest about it, saying like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I didn't like you today, you know. And it's just very normal. It's very normal. But notice, like, what do you project? What's coming up for you? Because it's the teacher just teaching you something, but something happened in your life that you're probably subconsciously repressing. And so that's why I love it. And the reason why they also have, you know, difficult poses is because it allows you to deal with shit, right? When you go out into the real world, you're going to constantly deal with shit all the time. But then if you have a practice where you're used to that, like in Kundalini, you're constantly building up your nervous system. It's not like a masochistic type of way where we're going to like fuck with you, but it's more about like, how can your body handle it? We're not only working on the mind because it is the yoga of awareness, but we all working on like the different organs, the different glands, the thyroid, like every single body pose we're doing is very intentional. And especially in the warm-ups, what you'll see is, you know, slowly waking up that Kundalini energy. And people talk about, oh my God, I've had these like explosive Kundalini experiences, and you know, I don't know what to do. My body was shaking and da 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 da. Like, you know, with Kundalini yoga, we're preparing your body physically for that to happen in a very sustainable way. Because that's the thing. It's like, what's the point of having a Kundalini awakening if you don't know how to sustain it? It just goes up and shoots out of your head. And then you're kind of like, I don't know, like mute on drugs, you know? And you don't know how to like be integrated into the real world. Because the whole thing, to me, in my opinion, about spirituality is like learning how to have that higher consciousness, have that higher alertness. But if you can't anchor it down into the real world, then what's the point? What's the point of it? If you can't inspire someone, if you can't guide someone, if you can't teach someone, and it's not even directly teaching them, but it's about learning how to indirectly shine your light so other people feel that they can do it too, right? And so it's all about like, you know, ascending, descending, right? And then matching right here in the heart, union in the heart. Feel like I've talked a lot. I did not expect to do that. I just, like, honestly, it just flowed out of me. It was Shakti. And so for the last 40 days, what I have been doing, and, you know, sometimes I'll skip a day. And if I do, then I'll double up the next day to make up for it. And it was the last set that we did for our sadhana and our Kundalini training, which was practicing long Ek Ong Kars. And honestly, I feel like you get initiated of being a Kundalini teacher when you do 2.5 hours of chanting long Ek Ong Kars. So during that time, we would have to be there at 4:30 in the morning. And I would leave the house at 3:35. Yeah. It's crazy. I remember I was at my mom's house and she's like, why do you do this to yourself? Why? And so, you know, we listened to Japji, did a little bit of warm-ups, and then we started chanting at 5 a.m. to 7:30. And what usually happens when you do that is you get a bunch of downloads. I don't recommend to do it like right away, especially if you're new to Kundalini. It's really intense. You may not think it because it's just chanting, but it's a hard chant in my opinion. And And so the practice that we do is just 31 minutes, right? And so I'm going to do, and that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to share that practice with you because it is my 40 days. Usually, you know, they say that it takes like 40 days to change a habit. No, I want to be correct. Like, what is that 40 days? Something in Kundalini, hold on. 40 days change habits, Kundalini. I'm like, what is that saying they do? Yeah. So practicing a specific Kriya for 40 days in a row can break negative habits that prevent you from expanding. Helps you develop an awareness with your practice and internalize the effects. Yeah, I think it was like 40 days, 90 days, 180. Yeah. So 40 days break negative patterns. 90 days establish new habits. Yeah, the new habit will help you in your subconscious. Yeah, so 40 days, this will break any negative habits that block you from experiencing the benefits of the Kriya. Kriya is just a set of body postures, set of asanas. 90 days, this will establish new habits in your conscious and subconscious mind. It will change you in a very deep way. So you can go beyond 40 days. 120 days is when the new habit is really, really ingrained in your consciousness, right? They get integrated permanently into your psyche. 120 days, that's it, right? So 4 months. 1,000 days. This will allow you to master the new habit of consciousness, right? No matter the challenge, you can call on this new habit to serve you. So it's like it becomes your superpower. And the beauty of it that I find that with Kundalini is that if you're the type of person that doesn't keep promises, doesn't follow through, doesn't have discipline, this will give you discipline. When you integrate Kundalini, and I promise you that, if you do it like consistently, not like half-ass it, and you show up regardless of how you feel, because that's what we do in the 40 days is like we get to understand and know like how do we feel throughout the practice each and every day. And so that's something that you do. You just check in with yourself, right? And you show up no matter what. And so this is a practice I'm going to do. It's a long Ek Ong Kar. I'm going to start it right now because I do have to leave soon. And so I'm so excited that we get to practice together. So I'm sharing my computer sound. And so the breath is inhaling Ek Ong, and it'll be long. Ong Kar. Inhale. Sat Nam. A little breath. Siri. Inhale. Wa. Hey Guru. And long Ek Ong Kar. The actual mantra, it means chanting this mantra initiates, so it awakes the Kundalini energy and it awakens the relationship between your soul and the soul of the universe. And so it aligns you to who you truly are meant to be. And it's magic. Mantra is sacred sound, sacred vibration. It's ancient and it's the sound of your body. It's like sound waves, it's frequency, it's energy, and it's just really beautiful. And so I'm going to do it right now. And then all you have to do is just sit in easy pose, Gyan Mudra. This is where your index finger is touching your thumb, palms facing up. I gaze at the third eye point to initiate and activate the pineal gland, which is responsible for your intuition. So as you're doing this, it's very important in Kundalini, the inner drishti, inner eye gaze, right here. I look a little scary doing it because I really roll my eyes back, but your eyes should be closed. You don't have to do the eye gaze if it like totally bothers you, or you can just like pretend you're focusing on that point. But I like totally get into it, and I just like have a white, and people are like, "Oh my God, you're so intense." But I don't know. I'm really intense with my practice. I love this stuff. All right. So we will just do that. I did not know I was going to talk for that long, but I guess that's how it goes when you're inspired. Okay.
Sadhana.
And we're chanting for 31 minutes here.
Silly. Waheguru. Ek Ong Sadhana. 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 Ek Ong Sadhana. Sadhana. Silly. Ek Ong
Ek Ong.
Silly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 1 Ek Ong Sadhana. Ek Ong Sadhana.
City.
Waheguru. Ek Ong
at the third eye point. Really expanding your chakra. Imagine yourself wearing whole body, our soul, our energy. Ek City. Wa.
Ek Ong
bask in the energy that you've created. Just take a couple deep breaths in through the nose. And exhale out your mouth. And just notice how you feel before you started this practice, and how do you feel now energetically, your body? Are you more relaxed? You may feel kind of heady. That's what usually happens when we're meditating after, a session. You feel a little bit high. And so just be really mindful here of how you move throughout your day. Okay. So thank you for practicing with me. Usually we just end with our hands in prayer pose and Anjali Mudra, thumbs at the sternum. And we say Satnam, which means truth is my name, truth is my identity. So we'll end with a cleansing breath here. And then inhale and Sat Nam. And so you just bring your hands at the third eye point, opening up higher awareness, and then hands at the heart. Sat Nam. And I realized I did not open with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. But that's usually how you open up the practice. Anyways, have a beautiful day. And I will share the song. I will share the link to join the Kundalini training. And we'll catch you all tomorrow. Sat Nam.